The Pelicans Master Plan is being executed as the team continues to quietly retool their roster as they prepare for life after Brandon Ingram and get ready to build around Zion and Trey. But the national media just doesn't seem to get it. We do, though, right here at Pelicans Digest. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you tune inside this edition. What's good with it, everybody? It's Melz On The MIC. And once again, man, thank y'all so much for hitting that subscribe button, man. I really do appreciate it. I think we were just at like 100 subscribers on my last video earlier today, and now we doubled and tripled that. Let's keep it going, man. Let's get to 1,000, and let's get together here as Pels fans and discuss what's going on with my team right here on Pelicans Digest, man. And I know it's my team, it's your team too. And I'm quite sure, just like you've had to deal with and endure all day slander and nonsense on these media stations about what's going on with Joe Dumars and his decisions over the last couple of weeks, especially during the draft. And I have to say this as a Pelicans fan, longtime Pelicans fan, since there was the Hornets. This is refreshing. We are very pleased with some of the moves, I am at least, with some of the moves that Joe Dumars is making, because for the last 4 or 5 years, under the tutelage of David Griffin, the entire mood of the franchise has always been, let's just wait and see. Let's just move with caution. Let's just hold up things a little bit here, and let's just wait to see how things develop. And so when you get a guy that's coming in like just storming in with all sorts of moves to start improving the roster, it makes us very, very happy, especially me. I'm very, very pleased with what's going on with Joe Dumars and his decisions. But if you want to get a better idea on what the Pelicans Master Plan is, you have to look back first at what David Griffin was doing when he was at the helm and he was the president and general manager of the team. Let's take a look at the Brandon Ingram trade, because that's where it started. This was the last official move by David Griffin for the Pelicans. And if you recall, he traded Brandon Ingram for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and 2 picks, okay? A 2026 first-round pick and a 2031 second-round pick. And, okay, you may say that's not a bad haul for David Griffin in this case, but it also reveals what his plan was going to be, unfortunately. And that plan was, we're just going to go ahead and try to run this back with a majority of this same roster that just lost you a whole bunch of games. But this time we're going to try to take the effect of, let's surround Zion with veteran talent. And one thing you have got to look at is, and let me explain what I mean by this before I move on. If the Griffin plan was to take Zion and put expensive vets around him, he was going to keep C.J. McCollum. The plan was you already had Kelly Olynyk under contract, so you was going to get him in for next season. And also you had Bruce Brown, who was probably going to be a free agent. Now, the issue with this is all 3 of these players combined would have cost you $66 million. $66 million against your payroll. So I've told you this in an earlier video about Gail Benson. She does not want to go over the luxury tax. She has been clear about this for years. She doesn't want to get close to the luxury tax. She don't mind going over the salary cap. Just don't go near that luxury tax because she's not going to pay it. So when you get to when you look at this lineup in the payroll from last year, I mean, that's a whole bunch of 20s and 30s on there, including Bruce Brown's $23 million contract. And the plan was, according to a lot of sources, that Griffin was going to talk about re-signing Brown and Kelly Olynyk to longer-term deals, which would have cost you more money. And that also means you would have been stuck with these older players on the contract and trying to see if you can run it back with Zion Williamson and Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. And that's not addressing a whole lot of needs. Plus, you only getting that 1 draft pick. So the plan clearly from David Griffin was, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and run it back with Zion, but put him some veterans around him, some older veterans around him, okay? And we'll see what happens after that. And if we luck up, we're already going to probably have a top 5 pick in the lottery, which everybody thought at the time that the Pelicans was going to be in the top 5 of the draft. So we're going to just wait and see. Like I said before, like has always been the approach, the caution, wait and see approach. To just say, you know, we're going to see where we look up at in the draft. We'll draft a player and put him on the floor with Zion. And then if this thing starts to crashing around, then, hey, I'll probably get fired. And then or we could just fire sale the whole team and start all over again. And that wouldn't have been optimal. That wouldn't have been optimal for us as a fan base and as a team. Now, if you look at the Joe Dumars plan, the Joe Dumars plan, I think, in my opinion, is way better. It's a way better plan. And that plan is Zion with younger talent. Yes, pair Zion with younger talent. You go make the move and go get Jordan Poole, who's younger than C.J. McCollum. And also, he's only $1 million more expensive than C.J. McCollum's contract. You got him locked in for 2 seasons. You also get Sadiq Bey, who's got a massively friendly contract. He's also younger and still in his 20s compared to Kelly Olynyk. Plus, not only that, you pick up 3 2025 draft picks. You get Fears, you get Queen, and you get PV, and you have filled out the rest of your roster, ladies and gentlemen. You filled out the rest of your roster, and you not only that, you've already set yourself on a course to build towards the future. You have a foundation of players that you can work with and still start building to the future in case things don't go the way you needed to go with Zion. And you can trade Zion in the middle of the season, or see what you can get for him, or see what happens. But one thing that I'm noticing with Joe Dumars and a lot of things that he's been saying in his statements and his comments is that he's not going to be holding back. He's going to be putting guys on the floor. Because another problem with the David Griffin era, and I've said this before, is that he was always too cautious. He was never about taking real risk with these players, and it showed down to his players. I think Zion last season, I think Zion could have played more games, but as they said, he kept getting held back. We putting him on minutes restriction. We don't want this. It was always caution. Now we got somebody in here that is willing to at least try to hit home runs and try to swing for the fences. And for what I've understood and what I've heard him say in his post-draft press conference was that if the guy's ready, if you think the guys are ready, we're not trying to keep going with development and holding them back and sending them down to the G League. If they're ready to play now, get them on the floor. And I think this is what's going to happen with Zion, because this is the whole situation with him. Get him on the floor. Let's get him in the game. Let's get him playing and see if we can make it 82 games with this guy. Because if we can, great. We are going to the playoffs. We have also a foundation to build under, just in case things don't go right with Zion. That is the Pelicans' master plan, because the original plan with David Griffin was, let's just pile up a bunch of veterans. And more than likely what would have happened during the season with David Griffin with these players is he probably would have traded. You remember, we started hearing talk about trading Herb Jones and trading Trey Murphy and all these guys up for trade now. That was being floated around for a while now, and that was also probably going to become a reality had David Griffin stayed in his position, okay? I think that's what really would have happened. You probably would have dumped off those guys and tried to chase after one of these aging superstars. When the Pelicans and Joe Dumars have a better plan, in my opinion, right now, which is to go younger. Stay with Zion. Let's build around Zion. Let's continue to see if this guy can be the franchise and the mega talent that he is. Because, of course, as you know, when he's on the floor and he's not injured, he is worth the price of admission. But if he can stay healthy, then the world is ours, if you're a Pelicans fan. And also, I love this approach because this is a similar approach to Oklahoma City and what they did. You got to remember, Oklahoma City started their rebuild in 2019, the exact same year the Pelicans did after they got rid of Anthony Davis and drafted Zion. They built that up with younger talent, took SGA, who was still young but was a veteran at that point, stacked him up with younger talent over the years. Now they're champions. The same thing can happen with New Orleans if they stick to the master plan of Joe Dumars. That's why I love his master plan. It's being executed. And please ignore the national media if they are just don't understand and don't get what's going on. We get what's going on over here at Pelicans Digest. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. And I really do appreciate y'all tuning in and hollering at us. Don't forget, man, I really do love the comments. Tell us, do you believe in this master plan from Joe Dumars? Do you believe in the master plan that we're trying to get with Zion and going younger? Or do you think we should have done something different? Do you think we need to take a different approach? Let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you next time right here on Pelicans Digest, baby. Appreciate y'all tuning in.